Bismillah Rahman Rahim. Assalamu alaikum to all of the students right here. So today we are going to have 20 questions on parts of speech that will clear all of your doubts related to parts of speech. Not only this, I hope you all of you are doing good right now. Uh, this is this session has been demanded by so many students so far, and I have received 420 questions 420 questions, but I mentioned only 20 questions that has some kind of importance and difficulty in its level. So without taking further time, I want to start the session that will go beyond the limit, beyond the expectations, that will help you understand the difficult situations and the times and the some of the parts of speeches. So we will have 20 difficult questions on parts of speeches that has been asked by different students I have in my group. If you want to join our group, you can contact my managers who are there. I will dispatch the link in the description. So get your doubts clear right here. We're going to talk about nouns, pronoun, adjective, verb, adverb, preposition, and conjunction, interjection, clause, phrase, subject, and object. So these are all the things, and we are going to do all these things live. One more thing that I just don't love to request a lot about it, but it is very important at all. Very important. That is to subscribe the channel is very important. Just I can ask my students again and again, so I hope they are doing by themselves. They don't need to ask many times about it for the same thing. So my dear students, uh let's get started and let's have some fun, also entertaining, also informational, all those things that you require to stay right here. So never ever skip the video uh in between or something like that. Okay, let's move on and talk about the questions. Oh, don't praise me. Don't praise me like that, students. Okay, that's pretty okay. Thank you. Let me move on. Oh, this is not being okay. Now the person was praising a lot, but that is okay. Yeah, here we comes, and let's talk about the first question. Very first question, that is, can you provide examples of words that can be used as multiple pairs of speech, or you can say parts of speech in a sentence? Can you provide? The person is asking me. If you could have some kind of a manner, or if you know some of the uses of modal verbs you could use, could you please? Could you please means when you are giving some respect to your teacher or something like that. But I'm not just like a student like you though, so I won't ever never I will never ever notice it. So that is pretty okay. Let's talk about the answer. Yeah, I do have answers. There are so many words that could be used as multiple parts of speeches at the same time, but it depends on the way you're using it in a sentence, the perspective, the way you're putting it in the sentence. For example, run. Run can be both noun and, let me use the pen first. Run can be used as noun and verb at the same time, but it depends on your way of expression. It depends on your sentence. And close could also be the same thing. It could be verb or an adjective, bass. So this depends. Like run, he runs fast. It is verb right here. Um, the run was good. The run was good. So the run is being used for the ground or for the competition or for the marathon. So it is a noun right here. So this depends on your way of usage right now. Let's move on, my dear students, and without further taking time. Yes, I fired, my dear students. I fired. Thank you. Yeah, stop it, stop it. I just don't want it that much. I need to go further. Yeah. Uh, Lovely students. Thank you for those compliments. I hope I knew that you are complimenting and showing your expression. So I put it in between the videos so that you could enjoy and you could uh, fetch out and get out your a kind of things that you wanted to appreciate or you can to applause for me. So the next student is, what is an intransitive verb and how is it difficult from a transitive verb? The very difficult and the most repeated and asked questions all over the world, not only you. So this question has been asked by one of my students, and I came to know that not only him, but also there are so many students who has difficulty in answering this question. So I have mentioned, and clearly, the first answer would be my first answer would be intransitive verb that did not take an object. This is the key point. Did not take an object. In other words, you can say it doesn't require an object to give complete sense. It gives complete meaning without its object. So it is a man. A man gives complete life. A man could have complete life without a woman. So women is object and a man is a subject, or you can say uh, intransitive form. Let's take some examples. She runs. She runs is an intransitive verb because it doesn't take an object. There isn't an object required. She runs means she runs. That's pretty okay. But in case if you want to talk about transitive verbs, then a transitive verb, on the other hand, takes an object. It requires an object. Some men can't live without women. So this is like that. A transitive verb can live without an object. For example, in a sentence, she broke. She broke what? She broke the vase. She broke the vase. Broke is an intransitive, or broke is a transitive verb because it takes the object, the vase. Object was important right here. It couldn't give complete meaning without the object, so it was very important at all. Some students are thinking that they are asking the very difficult questions that I couldn't be able to answer. So my answer would be, yeah, this is my answer. This is not a difficult task for me at all. Not a difficult task at all. Okay, give me a second. What just happened? Give me 5 seconds and I will make it. Stop it, stop it. Yes. The question number 3. Can you explain the difference between a gerund and a present participle? This is a difficult question. They were tricking, and I thought like every question would be like that, but this is very difficult at all. So, can you explain the difference between gerund and present participle? Okay, I will try. The first one is gerund. First I need to explain what is gerund and what is present participle, and then I will be able to tell you the differences between them. A gerund is a verb. It's a verb actually that from the its ending form would be ing. Ing form of the verb, fourth form of the verb, and functions as a noun. It functions as a noun in a sentence. A verb is functioning as a noun in a sentence. This is very, very important. You can use a verb as a noun, as an adjective, as an adverb, but you need to have the skill. Only those could do this if they have the ability to convert a verb into different forms, into noun, pronoun, adjective, adverb, and any type of statement in a sentence. So you don't have to remember lots of vocabularies. You can just turn some of the verbs into a noun when required. For example, running is good for your health. Running was the fourth, would be the fourth form of the verb, but it's right here. It is not the fourth. It's actually the fourth form, but right here it is working as a noun. Running means to run. To run uh, is good for your health. Okay, and present, sometime you can say gerund and infinitives works accordingly in the infinitive and an identical way. But right here gerund is very important, and it is working as a noun. It could be placed in the beginning of the sentence, and it is the fourth form of the verb. But in case if you want to talk about present participle is also a verb that ends with ing but functions as an adjective in a sentence. Yeah, this is the difference. Gerund was functioning as a noun, but right here it functions as an adjective. Take some examples. The running water from the faucet was cold. The running water from the faucet was cold. War is the noun here, right? The running is the complement, or you can say the word used for water. The water that was running, water that was in moment, that was in momentum. Okay, so this gives the complete meaning. This is adding or pointing towards the noun, so it is working as an adjective in the sentence, so it is present participle. The main difference is a gerund works as a noun in a sentence, and the present participle works as an adjective in a sentence. This is the main key that you have to keep in your minds. And a gerund, okay, no more details, let's move on. uh some students are getting bored and exhausted, so I have a horror movie from Mr. Beans. Please have it and enjoy. Students are like this. They're always scaring. They are always scaring. Okay. hmm I'm not sure these videos are just exploding and spoiling my videos. I'm not sure to get rid of it. I just use it in the video to help you along, to help you get into the video for so long time. You just don't get exhausted and bored as well. I'm not sure why students are not here right now. I will give them compliments at all at the end of the videos. So what is a reflexive pronoun and how does it differ from an intensive pronoun? Okay, this is a good question. A good question. Exams like questions intensive pronoun and reflexive pronouns. Intensive pronouns means emphatic pronouns that has some that has some kind of emphasis in it. So let's take the difference. A reflexive pronoun is used to refer back to the subject of the sentence and indicates that subject performs the action. Okay, subject performs the action of the verb itself. The subject is performing the action himself or itself. For example, in the sentence, she hurts herself is the reflexive pronoun that is being reflexing back to the subject and is showing that the action of the verb has been done by the same person, by the subject. Okay, so it's very simple. No, yeah, she hurts herself, they read themselves, they studied themselves, and all those things. Let's move on and talk about intensive pronoun is used to emphasize, or you can say emphatic pronoun is used to emphasize the subject of the sentence. For example, she herself baked the cake. She herself hurt herself. If you want to make this one like this, then you have to say she herself hurt herself to herself in a sentence. That is important. So here I hear she herself. Just after placing the subject, it is showing some emphasis that only she has done it. Okay, bake the cake herself is an intensive pronoun. Some differences are like that. When there is a special case as well. So if you say she herself, she did it by herself. If you use by right here, by, it will mean that she did it alone without taking help from anyone. But if you use she hurts herself bake the cake, it means that she did it by herself. She did it, no one else. She did it. Mm, this is putting some emphasis on it, like I did it. I personally did it, no one else. At the time, she herself baked the cake. Hmm. Let's move on and talk about the fifth question. Can you provide examples of homographs? Homographs, words with the same spelling but different meanings and origins that belongs to different parts of speech. Yeah, a piece of cake for me, my dear students. This is not a difficult question at all, but it would be helpful and difficult for you. So don't think that I'm saying it's easy. It doesn't matter. That doesn't mean that it's easy. You can check if you could be able to answer. It means it is easy for you. Otherwise, take the answer from my side. So some examples of homographs that belong to different parts of speeches include, just like the first question that you asked to me, tier. They asked me, tier is a verb or a noun at the same time, base as well, and lead as well. So I'm not missing any type of question right here. I'm using some important questions. So this has kind of same meaning, but I just wanted to introduce this term, like homographs. Homographs, that means words with the same spelling but different meanings and origins. Okay, same spellings but different meaning and origins. What just happened? Give me a couple of seconds. Let me check what just happened. Wait a minute, my dear students. Right? Okay, what just happened? Why it is not showing? Okay. Are you working right now? Good. Very well. So, sixth question is, what is a participle phrase and how does it function in a sentence? Students, we didn't went and go through participle phrase yet, but actually I will answer this question because it has some importance and it would be better to place some questions like this in my lectures. Okay, so the answer would be a participle phrase is a phrase, sorry, that begins with a participle. Okay, it is being initiated with a participle. Of participle is a verb form that functions as an adjective, I told you, and modifies a noun or pronoun. Always an adjective modifies a noun and pronoun in a sentence. For example, crying loudly, she called for help. Crying, crying loudly, crying loudly is an adverb right here. So adverb, adjective, uh, crying loudly, she called for help. Crying, working as an adjective in a sentence right here. So participle phrase starts with a participle, you can say, which is working as an adjective in a sentence. An adjective modifies a noun and a pronoun right here. So some students, uh, I have 300 students who are there on WhatsApp and they are not right here. They are just sleeping, that they are not able to join us on time. I will be doing the same thing with them right here, just like this one.
Noah? Larry, what the hell are you doing? Larry, you can't just... Oh, Larry! Oh, are you all right? Larry!
I won't let you. Yeah, take it. Are you there? You're still not in the classroom. Okay, take it. Go. You also. Go.
Righto. What's going on here? Sir, I'm arrested. Oh!
You're hold them back. Oh, I won't let you alone. Go. You will not. Students are not taking classes properly. I had to do it. I couldn't bestow them. They are not taking the classes properly. I need to do this. This was very important at all. So the question number 7 is, the next time if they don't take the classes properly, I will do the same, and that time I will do it properly in reality. So they need to be cautious about it. Question number 7, can you explain the difference between a countable noun and a uh, uncountable noun? Ah, I can explain it to you. Don't worry. I can do this. A countable noun is a noun that can be counted. Yeah, that can be counted and therefore has singular or plural forms. Yeah. For example, dog, cat, like the cat, like different type of things that can be counted accordingly. Now you can understand it. You're not a child at all, okay? A non-countable noun, on the other hand, can be counted, unable to count as all at all. For example, milk. Milk can be counted, water can be counted, stars can be counted, but there is an exception. A stars on the sky is uncountable, but a stars on your child's copy that has been given by the teachers, like this one, this one, this one, these stars are being counted. So it depends on the usage as well. Okay, let's move on and talk about question number 8. What is an adverb of manner and how does it differ from an adverb of time or place? What is an adverb of manner? Okay, yeah, I will be answering it to you. My dear students, adverb of manner describes how something is done. Huh? How something is done. For example, she sings beautifully. She sings beautifully. Ah, how something, in which manner, these questions should be asked. Okay, in which manner, the questions that should we should ask. So, lovely students, describes the manner of doing something. She sings beautifully. She writes beautifully. She speaks fluently. They read. They read. Kind of loudly. Uh, Fast. You can fast could also be. So just like that, I'm not getting all those things in my mind right now. Let's talk about adverb of time. Adverb of time indicates when something happened. When something happened. For example, she will arrive tomorrow. Tomorrow, when something happened. Tomorrow, yesterday, one, mm, in the morning, in the evening, at night, at afternoon, and something like that. It depends. But the timing should always answer the question when. And adverb of place, that is very important. All adverb of place indicates where something happened. Where, question, where something happened. For example, she left here. She left here. Right here. This is the location. Location. Where? Here, there, uh, upper, downward, inside, outside, in the room, out the room. There should be a location giving answer to these kind of questions. So where are some kind of difficult questions, or where are my students? I'm getting exhausted like this. I'm just waiting yeah, I will be going to have some suicide if you don't take the classes properly. I'm getting exhausted. Yeah. Mhm. Question number 9. How do you identify the subject and the object of a sentence? Yeah. And what is the difference between them? Sometimes students get confused, like which part is the subject and which part is the object right there. It would be very difficult sometimes, and they are also asking about the difficulties and differences between them. So the first answer from my side would be this one. Subject. Subject is the of a sentence is a noun or pronoun. It will always be a noun and a pronoun that performs. It will be performing the action of a verb. The object, in other word, in other case, in other side, is a noun or pronoun again, but it receives the action. There is a difference of performing action that is being done by the subject and receiving. Someone is doing and someone is receiving this thing. So the performer is the subject and the receiver is the object, just like performer is the customer and receiver is the shopkeeper. So you are the performer, you're doing something, and the receiver is your uh, shopkeeper who is receiving the money from your side, or you can say shopkeeper would be the performer, or you would be the receiver, because shopkeeper is giving something back to you, like after you're getting out money from your side. And okay, examples we can take. For example, in this sentence, she kicked the ball. She kicked the ball. Who did it? Who did it? The subject is she. She did it. She's she's in action. She's doing it. And the ball is the object. You know, the ball is receiving the action from her. So the difference between them is that subject performs the action while the object receives the action. I told you about it. Let's move on and talk about the question number 10. Can you explain the difference between the use of active voice and passive voice in a sentence and provide examples of both? Lovely students, we didn't yet uh, take the classes of active and passive, so I don't want to explain it in very detail because you may not have an idea about it. So I will just give you some kind of sort of information about it, just kind of overview of active voice and passive voice. Active voice is when the subject of a sentence performs the action of the verb. In active voice, the subject will be performing the action. For example, the last one, she kicked the ball. But in case if you want to talk about passive voice, is when the subject in a sentence is acted upon by the verb. Yeah, acted upon by the verb, and the subject is being placed at the end of the sentence in passive voice. For example, the ball was kicked by her. The ball was the object and it is being placed at the beginning, and the kick was by her. Sentence, subject of a sentence is acted upon by the verb. Let's move on, my dear students, and talk about question number 11. That is important. Can you explain the difference between a coordinating conjunction and a subordinating conjunction? Last time in the very last video, you can get into the channel and talk, get a detailed brief and information about coordinating conjunction and a subordinating conjunction. So right here I will only give you some sort of information about it. Coordinating conjunction is a word that is used to connect phrases, clauses, words, sentences of equal syntactic information. You can say syntactic importance. Syntactic means equal ranks. Ranks means it should be, if it is independent, the next one should also be independent. If it is dependent, no, it will always be independent. Okay. So for example, coordinating conjunction includes fanboys. I told you about fanboys. uh, for, and, nor, uh, mm, but, or, yet. So seven coordinating conjunctions are right over there. Seven subordinate coordinating conjunctions, and right here these are some examples. So whenever you use any type of coordinating conjunction, it means that the sentence would be independent and it will never ever look for another part of the sentence to give complete meaning, because it will be giving complete meaning without any dependency. But in case if you want to talk about subordinate conjunction, is a word that is used to join subordinate clauses to the main class. Main class would be this one, and the subordinate class would be the class joined by these subordinating conjunctions. Examples are subordinate conjunctions include because, if, and when. Because, if, and when. They are only giving some examples. I will give you more examples if I could get this thing right there. Let me give you more information about it. Yeah, I told you uswa bit can be an acronym for most of these subordinate conjunctions. U for until, unless, um, and S for so, um, and W for while, where, yes, whenever, whatever, whichever, uh, and A would be for as, um, although, B for because, and I for if, and if, T for though. There are so many examples, but I'm getting all these things in my mind right now. So let's move on and talk about the question number 12. What is an infinitive and how does it functions in a sentence? Again, an important question. Infinitive. When we were talking about infinitive in our class, I told you everything in detail. Infinitive could work as a subject, could work could work um, mm, as a noun, as an adjective, as an adverb as well. But right here I will give you some examples. Like infinitive is the base form of the verb. Base form always means the first form without any changes. First form of the verb. Base form and first form has some difference. First form could be in a sentence like she runs fast. Runs is the first form, not the base form, because s has been added after it because of the the compulsion of she she runs fast. The s should be added to give to correct the sentence. But base form will always come without adding s or es at the end of the sentence. Base form of the verb is often preceded by to. Often, not at all, not every time. It can function as a noun and as a noun adjective or adverb in a sentence. For example, to run is good for your health. To run is good for your health. It is a noun right here. Uh, to run a marathon is good for your health. To run a marathon, it would be an adjective right there. To run fastly is important. It is modify an adjective and verb right there. So if there isn't any to in the sentence and it's working as an infinitive, it means that it is bare infinitive, and it could be used in causative verbs. When I was teaching causative verbs to you, I might have explained all these things in detail. There would we will use bare infinitive in those sentences. Okay, lovely students, let's move on and talk about question number 13. Can you provide examples of words that can be either an adjective or an adverb depending on the use in a sentence? I can provide billions of words in this manner that could be used as an adjective or as an adverb in a sentence depending on the fast, hard, till, late. These are all examples of words that could be used as an adjective or sometime as an adverb in a sentence depending on your way of expression. He runs fast. He runs fast. It is an adverb right here. He is fast. He's a fast man. He's a fast man. In that sense, it is giving a sense of an adjective, modifying the word noun man. Okay, it was simple, not that complicated. Let's talk about the question number 14. What is the difference between a compound noun and a compound adjective? A rare question. Nobody asked about it. Many time I didn't heard like questions like this before. A compound noun is a noun made up of two or more words. Is a noun made up of two or more words function as a single unit. For example, toothbrush, um, hardworking, something like that. But in other words, you can say a compound adjective is an adjective made up of two or more words that modify a noun. For example, well-known person, well-known personality, something like that. Okay, there would be so many examples as well, but right now I'm not getting. So pardon me, okay? Pardon me, my lovely students. Let's move on. Question number uh, 15. Can you explain the difference between a modal verb and a main verb? Yeah, this is very important. Very, very important, my lovely students. Can you explain the difference between a main verb and a modal verb? I can explain it to you. Give me some seconds. A modal verb is a type of auxiliary verb is used to indicate possibility, necessity, ability, permission, prediction. I have told you the different uses of different modal verbs in detail, like can, could, may, might, should, would, must, will, shall, and everything in detail. But I don't have all those lectures on my YouTube channel yet, but I will be publishing and recording those sessions so that it could be useful for different students if they want to take the classes later. But right now, I don't have on my YouTube channel. I'm sorry, but students who have taken it, they already know that how to use and when to use modal verb in a sentence to show some possibility, necessity, capability, and all those things. For example, uh, can, must, should, he can do this, he could do this, they must do this, you should do this, okay? You would do this, he could do this, something like that. But main verb is a verb that conveys central meaning of a sentence as it not, and it is not used as a conjunction in a sentence, okay? Sometime when we are using when making the uh, indirect version of WH questions, at that time we change the modal verbs and make it sometime we make it the connector in the sentence. But right here, main verb will never be a conjunction with auxiliary verbs, okay? If you have any doubt, you can ask me in the comment section or the chat box right there. I will be available. I will be answering your questions. Question number 16. What is in a positive and how does it functions in a sentence? A positive, okay. A positive is a noun or noun phrase. It could be a noun or noun phrase. Both are same, but just different word manners that renames or explains the noun immediately preceding it. Acha. For example, my friend, the doctor is coming over. My friend, the doctor. This is the a positive right here. My name was just my friend was just a noun, but just after the comma the person explained who is that person. The doctor. My friend, the doctor is coming over, okay? My friend, the thief is coming to steal the money. My friend, the thief. The thief. My friend, the naughty is coming right here. My students, the lazy, or you can say, my students, uh, the nalaik. I'm not getting any special word for it. Just okay, let's move on. And question number 17. Can you provide examples of words that can be either a verb or a noun depending on their use in a sentence? I can easily provide it. Here it is. Examples of word that can be either a verb or a noun depending on use of it. Like for example, play, record, project. The play was good. Here it is noun using noun. I was playing cricket. Now it is verb. Record. The record was good means noun. Record means the recording. I was recording the lecture. It is a verb. Project like that. There are so many examples, but these are some examples that I could give you, my dear students. Let's move on. Move on. Move on. Question number 18. What is an article and how does it functions in a sentence? This is very important because most of the students make mistakes in articles and uses of articles. They may not know about its exact uses, or they may don't have that kind of practice that could help them use articles correctly in a sentence. The indefinite article. Okay, let me answer first. Mm, an article is a word that is used before a noun to indicate the type of reference being made to the noun. Either it could be simple or spatial, specific, or something like that. There would be two different types: definite articles and indefinite articles. There are at least 10 uses of both definite and indefinite articles, and we use a definite article with with you know the the name of the oceans and different things like that. And we use um, the indefinite article with some common things. We want to make something common. At the time we use indefinite. There's 10 uses. I can explain things right here, so if you want I can make a video for you, but if you don't want you can go to the class and ask my students what are the uses, because we have taken the lectures on WhatsApp. Let's move on and talk about question number 19. Before that, some students again left the class, so I need to punish them again. It is very important, so let's have some punishment, and you need to be careful about it. Now next time I'm doing the same thing with different students right there. So I'll be punishing them. I won't let them
Grow
go.
up! Larry, what the hell are you doing? Larry! Larry, you can't just...
No, that is okay. I won't punish them more than like that. Question number 19. Can you explain the difference between a preposition and a postposition? An important question, but postposition is not that common. Let me answer it first. Um the answer is like this. A preposition uh, is a word that shows the relationship of a noun or pronoun to other words in a sentence. I've explained it in very detail. You can go and watch it in my YouTube channel. There is a video like uses of preposition that lasts for 1 hour, complete 1 hour. You can go and watch it and have fun. I've explained each and everything from my copy that I've made, with my own notes that will be easier for you to understand. For example, she is sitting on the couch, showing that the couch is a surface, and preposition is being placed right there. The next thing is a postposition is similar to preposition but follows the noun or pronoun that it governs. Postposition are less common in English than preposition. Post preposition is not that common and not being discussed at all. You might have heard it for the first time as well. So this is not that common, but preposition is very important and it has the weightage. It has the weightage. So you need to go and watch the video, and you don't have to miss that one. Okay. Last question: what is a clause and how does it differ from a phrase? Uh, a question that hasn't been discussed in our lectures yet, but I will answer it and I will make you satisfied. First, I will tell you what is clause and then phrase. A clause is a grammatical unit that contains a subject and a predicate. It will have a subject and its predicate that will give some sort of 90% of complete meaning, but not at all like it will give complete meaning and it will give some great sense. But a phrase is a word that functions as a unit but do not contain its subject or predicate. uh, subject or predicate, yeah, it will never give complete meaning as well. It will never give 50% of the meaning as well. Clauses can be independent, yeah, both independent. When we're discussing the conjunctions, I told you about it. So let's take some examples. uh, on the on the floor, on the floor, there is no subject, no predicate, means no transitive verb. So mm, so it is a phrase, on the floor, giving some sense but not at all, not complete sense. And in case you want, if you want, he is a student, a clause. So thank you so much, my lovely students. What can I say to you is only this one.
Thank you. Thank you, Karen.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank
Again, thank you. Now this is my time to say thank you to all of you for being here right here and taking this different type of class, like discussing all these questions in detail about preposition, about parts of speech, and we have gone through all those things. So lovely students, if you have missed conjunctions, preposition, all those things, get into the channel and watch all those things from my lives. And uh what to say, I can only ask you for to subscribe. That is very important. If you subscribe, you will be able to take the next lectures, upcoming lectures as well. One thing that I could deserve from your side is to like the channel, like the video, because I have worked hard on this one. And sharing is caring. Please share it with your friends, with your community, on your Facebook, on your WhatsApp, on your different platforms. Please don't let them miss this lecture. So it is very important. And if you have any further question, you can ask me it. If I could get to 60 plus questions uh, on parts of speech, I will be making another video on this type, like this one. So uh last but not least, I can only say thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much, all of you. Allah Hafiz.